What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. This is the Tangents Podcast, episode 86. It's been a couple weeks, at least 2 or 3 weeks since we posted last, but honestly, we just didn't get around to shooting new podcasts. So today, we're gonna just get the gears loosened up a little bit. We're gonna get more episodes filmed. We've got one planned to film this week. It's in the works. We're gonna get to that ideal actual weekly schedule one day. But today we are going to be talking about, I am going to be talking about my opinions. I just want to make sure that everyone's clear. These are my opinions on the subject of fatness. Now, I think as a fat guy, I have the utmost authority on the subject. So I have some thoughts, some opinions. I want to make sure, I'm going to preamble all of this by saying I have no opinions and no expertise on anyone else's situation, their experience, their struggle. I'm just going to speak from my perspective and my opinions on the subject and the space of fatness and more so body positivity. Now, I've been a fat guy basically since I came to America. I was always stuck at home. I really had no friends, and my mom was overbearing. So she was overprotective rather, and she just wouldn't let me go out. You know, she's like, people die in Chicago. And I was like, I mean, not everybody. It's like, I got good odds. There's a lot of people here, but you know, it didn't matter. She was an old school Bosnian lady, and she was not gonna let me go out. So I didn't really go out. And when I hung out, I hung out at people's houses, and there was not like a lot of physical activity for me, and I was 10 years old. It's like when you need physical activity. And I heard about the study 2010, 2011 that if you had a low energy, like low activity level around the like preteen, teen era, you were never gonna, basically it was gonna be a mad uphill climb after that. That's basically what happened to me. Like I was at home, and the little bit of activity that I ended up getting was when I went back to Bosnia, and basically you had to walk everywhere, and I was gone for a month. I came back, I lost like 50 pounds, and that's also how I lost weight like the next time around, when I like really buckled down, and I went from like mad huge breakfast to doing like 2 eggs microwaved, maybe a piece of cheese, like super lean. And I was walking 1 to then 3 and eventually up to 5 miles for a little bit. And within a month, I lost about 55 pounds. And then I met my wife. And I blame her on like a joking level, but it's still like my self-control. But I met her, and she was like, have you heard of flavors, sir? And it turns out there's all sorts of flavors out in the world that I had no clue about. I mean, prior to meeting my wife, I thought Italian food was Olive Garden, right? Like Olive Garden was Italian food. I had no fucking clue. No fucking clue. Like just like to level up to Maggiano's, that's like, it's fucking mwah. It speaks to my 1.2% Italian heritage. So I started gaining weight again, and my exercise level was reduced, and it's for me, it's an addiction to the flavor, right? For me, it's not even so much the like having lots of different foods. I'm actually still really good with eating the same. Like I can eat, like today we just made pork chop, a egg, and a piece of bread. That's like what each person gets, and I've eaten that like 4 times this week. But not a thing that bothers me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, oh man, if this shit again. It's just not a thing for me. What it is for me is if I have a little bit of ice cream, it just tastes so good that I want more of it and more of it and more of it. I just want that flavor experience, and that's kind of where my pitfalls happen. Is I'm like, let me get a burger. No, let me get a double. I'll get a double burger, fries, milk, because like that experience, like I want that whole flavor experience. And that's why it's difficult for me to make choices. That's why I told my wife, I'm like, look, if you want to go on a diet, I say if she wants to put me on a diet, but like, obviously I'm choosing to be on this diet. If you want to put me on a diet, like I can't have choices. Like choices are what makes me make bad decisions. So she broke it down. We're following something. She did like a study on what the hell is it called, Nutrisystem, and we're kind of following a Nutrisystem thing. There's like, it's like 1 protein, 1 carb. It like has to meet certain requirements. It has to be in certain calorie range, that kind of stuff. To me, that like once you give me like, hey, you can eat this, it's like X amount of shredded chicken, or X amount, like X, like 1 boiled egg, or one pan fried egg, no oil, or like all of this stuff, like just Once you tell me that, okay, cool. That's when I get into the seasonings, the spices, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't do a lot of salt, but like, I'm not really a big fan of salt anyway, which is ironic because everybody's always on like, oh, just salt. Because when I have salt, it's the one time, and it's when I have like butter on a piece of English muffin, and I throw some salt on that bitch. Otherwise, like, I don't put salt on my eggs. I don't put, like, I just don't. It's just not I used to, but it was like, I used to eat ketchup too, but I fucking hate ketchup now. I say all that to say that I have identified what makes me fat, right? What in my life, in my decision making, causes me to be grossly obese. Or what is it? Is it grossly obese? I forget what it's called. Morbidly obese. That's the one. That's the one. This fucking dark ass category. Morbidly obese. Like, your ass is gonna die. Fuck, man. Like, all right, I guess I'll keep that in mind while I choose what to fucking have for breakfast. I might die. I don't know. There just needs to be better categorizations. What I've found, now, obviously, I'm a big dude. People, like, ask certain, like, you know, people say certain shit and talk about certain shit, and, like, they'll ask me, like, for, like, I don't even know how to say it, like, they'll make special accommodations, or they'll try to make special accommodations. Like, we were gonna go see Hamilton in theaters, and my wife was calling to, like, get, like, one of those, like, handicap seats, because the seats were tiny as shit. So, like, there's accommodations that need to be made, and honestly, I'm not really that worried about it. Like, it, for me, I learned a long time ago, what is, right? It, like, when I got on the airplane, when we went on our honeymoon, they were either gonna give me a seatbelt extension, or they were gonna tell me to please get off the plane, sir. I was okay with either result, but, like, I still felt like shame, which, like, sucked in the moment, because I was like, yeah, can I get, like, a, you know, belt extension, you know, like a, and he was like, no, I got you. But he was like a little bit chubbier dude, so he, like, got it, right? But at the same time, like, there are some places that don't have that accommodation. You know, I can't sit outdoors at a lot of places, like, when you could go to restaurants. I mean, I know people do, but, like, I'm just taking zero chances at this point. I'm not trying to die. I have this big ass pre-existing condition. I'm not trying to fucking die of COVID. When we could go out, like, oh, it's a nice day out, we should sit outside. And then I look at the seats, and it's the same fucking seats. It's like this little bucket metal thing. Like, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't move around, and my ass ain't gonna fit. So, like, I can't do outside. I can't do what are the boots. I can't do boots usually. My stomach's so fucking big. Like, I can't fit. It's not a comfortable experience for me. So like, I have to either wait for a table, or, like, I have to take accommodations into consideration when I do stuff out in the world. And I say all that to get to my point. And my point here is, I think the body positivity movement is bullshit. I don't mean that body positivity as a concept is bullshit. I just mean the body positivity movement is bullshit. The idea, the inherent idea of you should love yourself and love your body is beautiful. It's a beautiful idea, and you should. You should, like, who I am is who I am, motherfucker. Like, that's the position you need to be at to be happy. Like, that's just with everything. Like, whether it's your body, whether it's how you behave, whether it's how you speak, whether it's what you know. What I am is what I am. Who I am is who I am. If you don't like it, fuck off. You know what I'm saying? That's I got into that space. It took me a long fucking time, but I got into that space, and I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful that I got that mindset kind of out of the way a long time ago. And I think it is more difficult for some. I think it is incredibly difficult for women. Again, I'm not a woman. I don't have that experience. My wife is overweight, and she's aware of it, so I'm not, like, fucking calling my wife out. She discusses her experience, so, like, I know secondhand kind of what she goes through and what she has to deal with. But at the same time, I watch a lot of these videos on the internet. There was a video that came out a long time ago. 4 or 5 years ago? Nicole something. She was a comedian. And I say comedian in quotes because, like, she's just kind of a mean-spirited person. So, like, the way she approaches her humor is not quite there. It's not quite there. It's like, I don't even know how to, it's like she's like flying before she could fucking crawl. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who are good comedians and who can come at, like, I would love to be roasted by Andrew Schultz. Andrew Schultz could destroy me on a roast. But, like, I've seen his build, right? I know he has jokes. I know he sees the world through a humorous perspective. He's not just trying to make you be sad And that's kind of what a lot of her shit seems like. More recently, in like the COVID era, she seems to have kind of really jumped on the like. I don't know. I don't know if she's being a contrarian. I don't know if she actually believes it, but she's jumped on the like. I don't even know if it was Back to Blue or whatever. But it was just like she was. That's what it was. She was like. I don't watch a lot of it, so like it was hard to remember. She was trying to trying to argue against defund the police. And just in every word, it was so clear she had no fucking clue what defund the police means. And that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like, she's a skinny bitch, and she did this video, it was called Dear Fat People. She went on this tirade, and there were some things that were true. But again, I think she came at it from the wrong angle. I think I think the type of fat person she was attacking was the entitled person. And I think entitlement supersedes fatness. I think if those people suddenly were model thin and had like the perfect body, they'd find other shit to be entitled about. And here's what I mean. There are fat people, and sometimes men, but I will say often women, in my experience, again, I'm not speaking from, y'all might see you might see a ton of men that act this way. I've just seen a couple. I've seen a lot of women that act this way. They feel like that everyone should be accommodating to them. That they should be able to walk into an Abercrombie and Fitch and have their size clothes. And I'm like, no, that's stupid. Because that's not the average, bitch. Like that's not where the clothes are for you. I'm 6'5". I don't expect to walk into Target and find XLT shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect to find that tall. I don't expect, even if I was like fucking rail thin, I would not expect to walk into Target and find that tall, right? That torso tall element in the clothes. Because it's not the average. People are not 6'5". Like, I would have to go to somewhere that sells shit for tall people. Like, they might have it on their website, but I'm saying you don't get the luxury. Once you are outside of the average, you don't get the luxury of having shit everywhere for you. You just don't. Because corporations work this way. Here's what most people are buying. Cool. Put that shit in my store. Some people buy this. Yeah, put it online. That's how it works. If I am as a business going to dedicate shelf space and floor space to shit that people buy all the time, regularly, the average, the general, the most fucking people. Most people are not 6'5". And most people who are 6'5" are not this fucking fat. 500 pounds, by the way. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It's been a while. Although, I will say, this is the Full Throttle Auto hoodie. I'm going to drop the link right here. Link on the podcast. It's teespring.com/Full Throttle Auto store, something like that. I don't know. Just search Full Throttle Auto, goddammit. When I first got this, and this is the first weekend I'm wearing this. I wore it yesterday. I put it on, and I was like, oh, hey, it actually kind of feels nice. So I kind of felt like I lost a little bit of weight. At the very least, like, tightened up or something. Something has changed since this originally came. Because when I first put this on, it was like, saying like I was titties out and everything. So something's changed. And the only thing that's changed is what I'm eating, right? We've been on that. Now, granted, it's only been a few weeks, but like to go from I was eating McDonald's regularly, I was getting fried chicken regularly, to like an egg, vegetables, a piece of bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's a different meal. It's a different eating habit. So like, I think something has changed, and it felt good to put this on. It felt fucking great. But at the same time, I don't expect to walk into Target and find a hoodie that is 5XL anywhere. Let alone fucking ever. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because that's not how it works. Again, it's the same reason. Like, granted, I make this joke a lot, but like when we're at conventions, and I go to the fucking, I always forget the damn name of the company because they never have shit for me, so I don't spend any money with them. But I go and they're like fucking booths of dope ass comic book hoodies and t-shirts, and they stop at 2XL. Why do they stop at 2XL? Because most people at shows go up to 2XL. That's it. Most people that go to shows aren't bigger than 2XL. I make the joke like this is comic books, fat people read comic books, because like lazy, chunky kids, like that's who reads comic. But that's not true. That hasn't been true for a long fucking time. But it's still a funny joke to me. It's probably gonna lose its fucking steam over time, but like, I still think it's funny sometimes. But like, it's a practical business decision. If I was Marvel Comics and everybody bought X-Men and nobody bought Avengers, I'd stop publishing Avengers. Guess what? Practical business decision. I mean, guys, if according to Ford, now I'm not going to say this is true because I just don't believe it to be true, but according to Ford Motor Company, Americans aren't buying sedans and cars and shit. They are buying trucks and they're buying EVs. So that's all they're going to produce from now on. They're not making a Ford Focus anymore. They might make like an EV Focus or something down the line, or hybrid Focus or whatever. But like Ford has done their research, presumably, and Ford is saying, all right, now hey, I'll tell you in a minute what I think it is. But so presumably, let's assume best intention and best actions taken. Ford has done the legwork. They look at their numbers year over year and they're like, sedans goes this way, EVs goes this way, trucks is going way up here. Fuck, man. Bring back the fucking Bronco. Get rid of all these fuck a Taurus. Fuck a Taurus. Bring me out a Taurus hybrid, Taurus EV, EV, because it makes sense. Because that's where the trend is. That's where the money is. Because they want the money. They don't care about if you like fucking Ford Focuses with manual transmissions. They just don't. They don't give a fuck about that. If you are 100 people, even if you are 1,000 people in America, if you are 10, I still feel like 10,000 is still not a lot of people. If you are 10,000 people in America and you are the last motherfucking 10,000, like manual, Dad, don't do that. Don't close my lighting. Fucking screensaver. If you are 10,000 people in America that like manual cars and the other 337 billion or million, Jesus Christ, 337 million people in America are like, we like EVs, we don't like manual. You're not going to be buying manual cars. Not new ones. No one's going to make them. No one. Fucking no one. Guaranteed. Because that's not where the money is. It's just, that's how life works. Now, fucking this is tangent, so this is why we're going down this road. What I think is actually happening is that Ford wants to spend more money on high margin trucks, which are not going to be EV. Now, they might throw in an EV here and there, but or like a hybrid truck or whatever, but their trucks are primarily not going to be EV, so they want to spend a lot of that. So their carbon footprint is going to be up here, which means that the rest of their line has to be all the way down to balance out at that governmental regulation level where they have to be as a company, right? They have to be at a certain average. I think there has to be a certain average carbon emission or some sort of there's an emissions guideline, and I think that's what they're fighting for. I think they're like, oh, we're going to Ford EV, or what the fuck they call it, the Mach E. It should have just been called a Ford Mach E. Like, it makes more sense, but like Ford Mustang Mach E, it's so many fucking words. No one wants to say it. Everyone's just going to call it the Mach E, right? Because nobody calls it a Ford Mustang. They say the Mustang. Some might even say Stang. Like, people want to shorten things. They're like, anyway, it's such a random tangent. But like, because you like something does not mean that the market should conform to what you like. Just because you want something, or even you need something, even if you are one of several, one of many, if you are not one of hundreds of thousands, if you are not one of millions, the market doesn't give a fuck, because the market wants its money. Just see a lot of fat people out here just like, oh, they don't have this. Guess they don't like fat people. I'm like, that's not what that means. That's not, like, they don't care about you. They don't care about anybody in here. They care about the money. So it's not that they don't like fat people. They don't like nobody. They like money. And money is mostly made by the average, the fucking general public. The general public is not 6'5" and 500 pounds. They're just not. That's why that's why I can't buy a $99 chair, which is probably a $50 margin for Staples. I can't go to Staples and buy a chair. Why can't I do that? Because I'm a fat dude. And I had to spend $400 on this chair, and I have to hope that it maybe lasts me 4 to 5 years so I can feel like I got my money worth out of it. But I like gained weight since I bought it, so I feel like it's probably not going to do that. And then now I'm losing weight, but like, I feel like it's probably not going to last that. But that's like the cost of the decisions I've made, right? Everything costs more. Clothes cost more. Fucking underwear costs more. Everything. Fucking tickets cost more because I'm 6'5" and I need goddamn leg room. I can't sit in a normal ass seat. I had to get first class last time. that shit costs more money. It's the cost of the person I am and the way I've chosen to live. I might have been able to sneak in if I was a skinny 6'5", you know, push yourself all the way back in the seat, spread your legs out a little bit. Maybe you fit in cheap seats. Maybe I would have been okay with that. It's just 2 hours, right? No big deal. I've sat in uncomfortable positions for 2 hours before. Not that big a deal. But I'm also fat, which means that I'm further away from the seat because of my fatness, which means my knees would be up in someone's fucking chest cavity if I was in one of the cheap seats. So we had to buy first class. And that shit was probably double the cost, I think, at the time. I'm sure now, like fucking COVID, it's way cheaper, but that's not the point. The point here is, if I've made a point, if I've made a fucking point here, if I've brought any sort of thing to the surface here, I'm just sick of fucking fat people. I'm sick of entitled people. Like, that's the top level. And then entitled fat people are just like a really, really strange fucking category of person. I'm not saying that there are not biological reasons for overweightness. There are. Like, a friend of mine was having thyroid issues, and like to the degree where like between time A and time B that I saw her, I was like, oh, fuck. So I went to her husband and I was like, yo, is she okay? Like, is something wrong? Because, like, as a fat dude, that's a significant difference. Like, she was chubby and then she was fucking huge. And I was like, shit. Like, I'm concerned. And then the next time I saw her, it was like a yo-yo. She's just right back. And I was like, yo, what'd you do? Because now I'm like, I need that secret. Because that shit was fire. I was like, that's a good change. And she's like, I went to the doctor and turns out I had a thyroid issue. I had stopped taking my thyroid medicine because the one doctor said, nah, don't take it. It's not doing anything for you. And now this doctor was like, no, take this fucking medicine. You need it. And so she was taking this thyroid medicine and she lost. I'm not going to guess. I'm terrible at that. So I'm not going to fucking guess. She lost a considerable amount of weight. Like, she was back to the same person that when I first met her. And I was like, oh shit, like, that's a huge difference. So that was a medical thing, right? She was working out still. She was still doing all the same shit, but like, she had a medical issue. I'm aware of that. I'm aware that there are people who have medical issues and medical reasons. I was the rage I felt when my fucking foot was in a boot for, was it 4 or 5 months? And it was like right going into COVID, I was in a boot. So like, not only could I not go anywhere because of COVID, I couldn't even go anywhere in my own fucking house because I was in this fucking boot. I gained a shit ton of weight because I couldn't do anything. Medical reason. That's it. I'm aware that there are other reasons besides bad choices, bad eating, etc., whatever. That's not where my problem lies. It never has. Fat people are fat people. Like, somebody said this recently, and it's like so fundamentally true that I can't even understand why we haven't thought of it sooner, why we haven't discussed it sooner. Instead of calling fat people, or instead of calling poor people, because what you're doing is you're qualifying their status, you're qualifying their value before you recognize that they're a person. So you would say people who are poor, people who are fat, because they're people first. So there is that. But the second thing to that is, but that's the difference for me, is fat people, I feel like, are people who expect the world to get out of their way. That's that entitlement. That's that. But then there are people like myself and people like a lot of other fat people that, see, it's hard, right? It's ingrained in our society. But it's me and a lot of other people who are fat, happen to be fat, right? And we just go on about our fucking day. None of us are bitching about, Coles doesn't have the size pants I need. Coles doesn't have the fucking tank top that I want. It's just not a thing. Because we are aware of society and we understand how shit works. Now, I will say, from my experience, the people that I've seen act this way are younger people. I'm 37 this year. 37. And I'm not going to say I'm old. Like, 37 is nothing. I got another 2 lifetimes ahead of me. Plenty of fucking time to get my shit done and get a robot body. Don't ever forget, robot body forever. But there are people who are in their like late teens, early 20s that are going around with these expectations for the world to just like get out of their way. And I don't even mean people who are fat. I just mean in general, there are people who are just snobby and just, oh, I believe this and therefore you should like validate that. And like, you shouldn't need outside validation, first of all. And there's just a lot of this behavior. And it's just, I just can really only put it under entitlement. There's this entitled feeling coming out of this whole generation of people that I don't know how the fuck we're going to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how we're going to deal with these like late millennials, like early Gen Z people who are just like, I'm a fat person and I need to be accommodated. I am this and I need to be accommodated. Like, accommodations should be made for people, of course. Everyone needs to be treated equally. But like, it's not like you weren't born fat, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I wasn't born fat. I was a skinny kid. I was tall. I was big. Like, I was physically large, but like, I was skinny. I've seen the photos and I'm just like, huh. Like, I would say probably, I would honestly say if I gotten into like soccer more or into like basketball when I got to America, I'd probably be a whole different motherfucker. Like, if I had just gotten that early, like, get into something. Because I was tall, so like I could have gotten into basketball. No, but like, you know, I to that end, my mom was so overprotective. There was a project in 7th grade where I was supposed to go to somebody's house to shoot a video. And I think I've talked about this before. I don't even know what person I would be if we had gone and shot that video. Because like, video is just like part of me now. Like, I want to film shit all the time. So like, if I had gone in 7th grade and filmed that video, we like filmed a mock commercial. Well, like they filmed, like the group filmed a mock commercial. I did like the presentation board because I couldn't go. My mother wouldn't let me go. And then I started to do a fucking book report, and I hate book reports. I've covered this on the main channel. Man, I wonder who I would have been if that had gone a different way. If I had just like fucking gone anyway, right? Maybe I would have stood up for myself earlier. Maybe I would have gotten a little more independence earlier. Who knows? I'd be a whole different motherfucker. I'm just saying. It's a different world, and I remember having to fucking fight my way for everything. If you were fat, like, suck it up. Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be bigger seats in places. Absolutely, there should be bigger seats in places. If COVID has taught us anything, is that everybody needs to go to the like I pick like 2 seats space. Like, people need cushion. I think that a part of the reason COVID spread as much as it did is because motherfuckers are way too close. We're packed together. There's just so many people next to each other. And like, to the degree that now that like, if I'm at a grocery store and somebody is too close, I'm just noticing the fuck out of it. I'm like, why the fuck? You're just in my goddamn bubble, sir. Like, get out of my space, motherfucker. Like, I get heated. Now I get heated. I'm at the grocery store. I'm getting some fucking vegetables, and this dude is just right here. I'm like, if I didn't have a mask on, you'd see my face. I'd be like, fucker. But like, I have a mask on, so they can't see. And that is part of the conspiracy. No, I'm just fucking around. Fucking anti-maskers. Damn idiots. Anyway, I think I've reached the end of my point here. I think I've come across the idea that I wanted to put out here. I think. If I haven't, let me know in the comments. If this has just been rambling for whatever 35 minutes, just let me know. End of the day, it is okay to love yourself. In fact, you should strive to love yourself. I love me. I'm the motherfucking shit. Nobody should be happy with being fat. It's okay to be happy within yourself. Nobody should be happy that they're fat. You can be fat and happy, but you cannot be happy to be fat because it is not healthy. It is detrimental to your body and your life. There's just no way around that. There is no way around that. It is unhealthy to be fat. There it is. My brain finally fucking got there. This is where I got this whole idea from. And I was like, I want to do this fucking video. And I really wanted to do I wanted to remake the Dear Fat People video, but I don't want to fucking, no. I don't want to act like I'm trying to be her or trying to attack her point. Nicole, what the fuck was her name? Nicole something. God damn it. Anyway, I'm not trying, this isn't about her thing. What I was watching is Dr. Mike. If you don't know, Dr. Mike's the #1 followed social doctor, fucking anywhere. He's on YouTube, he's on everything. But he did a video, he did like a Q&A, and, or he was reading comments, that's what it was. He was reading comments, and I don't know if it was on a specific video or whatever, but there's a lot of people that were commenting, I would watch more of Dr. Mike's stuff, but he's so fat phobic. We should all be fat phobic. Fat is not something to be proud of. I don't know, blow your fucking mind, but fat is not a point of pride. Overweight and unhealthy is not a point of pride. That's stupid. Like, it is not something, fucking, that pissed me off. So I watched that and I stopped the video. I didn't want to wait for his response because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, fat phobic? He's not afraid of fat. He's a doctor. If I went to a doctor and they were like, sup, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, you're good. Have a good day. I would never go back to that doctor again because that doctor does not have my best interest at heart. Your doctor should tell you that your ass is fat and you need to lose weight. I have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is probably skyrocketing right the fuck now off this fucking topic. I fucking finally got there. I knew I had something I was trying to get to. You should not be fucking trying to get the world to be okay with you being fat. You should stop being okay with being unhealthy. There's nothing wrong with being overweight a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. I contend that I like a little cushion for the pushing. I like a little thicker girl. I'm saying that's myself. That's why I married my wife. She is beautiful. I love all of her curves. But there is a point at which it is unhealthy to you, unhealthy to your body. And also, if my wife said, hey, I'm going to lose all this weight, I'm going to get super lean, super thin, I would still love her because that's my wife. I love her for more than just her body. The point is, I would also start massaging the shit out of her feet and doing everything I can for her. Because when motherfuckers start getting in shape in a relationship, they ain't doing it for you. So you better start earning your fucking keep. Just saying, I'm aware. I know the trigger signs. My point is, it's okay to be fat and to be happy. I'm pretty fucking happy within my own life. I can't think about the world for more than 10 minutes without wanting to cry. But that's the world. Within my own life, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty fucking good. I just put out this magazine. I'm putting out videos. I'm telling stories. I just got back into writing. I might even do NaNoWriMo this year, which would require me to write 2,000 words by the end of today. It's possible if I do it. If I accomplish those first 2,000, I might just fucking do it. Nah. I've been it's been just like gnawing at me the whole fucking time. Anyway, I'm pretty happy in my own life, in myself, in what I'm doing and what I'm accomplishing. I fucking hate that I'm overweight. The fact that I'm on this diet has been like the greatest feeling for me because I'm just like, oh, I am not having to try to figure out, like, I'm not making a big ass breakfast because it's delicious and I know it's going to be delicious because I fucking make a good ass breakfast. And then being like, fuck, there's a lot. That's fucking a lot. Shouldn't have eaten that much. I hate that feeling. I fucking hate that feeling. I had shivapi the other day as a cheat meal. The rest of the day I was still good. I actually combined, basically it was my meal and 2 of the snacks. That's what I turned it into. But like 1 order of shivapi and like a burek, because I was like, I'm going, might as well go. I was fucking stuffed, like uncomfortable stuff, to the degree that when I go back to get shivapi, I'm probably only going to eat half and put half away because I was uncomfortable. And I realized it and I was like, fuck, that means like my stomach is actually getting smaller to the degree that I'm not just like, fucking eat anything. Which is why I think now the challenge, the thing that I said that I could eat those, I mean, I still think I could do it, but I would not be fucking happy at the end of the day. There's a challenge some chef dude posted on Instagram. He wrote an article rather, and then he was on Twitter. So I hit him up. He was impressed that some dude ate 41 tacos in an hour and 29 minutes or 26 minutes. 27 minutes. It was like 59 seconds. I was like, 90 fucking minutes for 41 tacos? I will destroy that record. Destroy. Just regular tacos. Nothing fancy, just regular tacos. And I was like, bro, I will murder that record. And he's like, I'd like to see that. And I was like, you're going to fucking see it and fucking tell me. Yeah, we're going to do that. But my point is, now that I know that I'm not going to be comfortable that day, but I'm definitely going to try to, like, I don't know, I'm going to drink a lot of water, try to just get the stomach like stretched out as if I can. Something, I don't know. We're gonna have to fucking do something because I don't want to talk this big game. Because it was on Twitter. He responded to me. He was like, I'd love to see it. I was like, do I have to go to the same place? Because that's gonna be a trip. I'm in Illinois. Because it was like a joint in Michigan. He's like, no, I trust you. And I was like, my fucking local taco joint is going to be happy to hear that. Because I still want to do it. But my point is, whole fucking reason I'm bringing this up, I'm happy to be making these choices. These are different choices. These are better choices for me. And I'm making these choices. The two are, that's like an added bonus. I was already happy with all the other things I was doing. But I was not comfortable in my own body. I'm not happy with being fat. I'm comfortable. See, here's the difference. And I think that's kind of like where a lot of this messaging gets confused. Like, it is important to be comfortable with yourself, like on an emotional level, right? You should not feel shame or like withdraw because of the way you look or their size or whatever. That's the comfort level you need to have. You need to be okay with who you are. But I was physically uncomfortable in my body. I still am. You know what I mean? Like when I wear socks, my socks like dig into my leg because I retain water in my legs. It's fucking this whole dumb thing. But anyway, it's like they almost look like compression socks, but like they're normal fucking socks. You know what I mean? Like there are elements of just like, oh, my underwear is expensive and like shit like that is not comfortable. It doesn't feel good to spend $22 on 2 fucking pair of underwear. Like that's insane. Like God, every time I think about it, it bothers me. I even made a video. There was like this whole thing. I had this like revelation, like I'm sick of paying this much for, and then I didn't do shit about it. Like it was this like performative thing of like, I'm going to start losing weight. And then I didn't do shit because I just don't feel like it was more so the food. Cause as everyone, every like gym person, every person who's lost weight will tell you, you can't outwork your mouth. If you're making bad decisions up here, you can do whatever the fuck you want with the rest of the body. You're still going to be making bad decisions up here. There are plenty of people who are fucking thin or fit or whatever that die of fucking heart attacks because they are making bad food decisions. So for me to make these good food decisions and to be okay with them, like I'm not forcing myself to eat vegetables. Like I like vegetables. I've always liked vegetables, but it's always like, well, do I want vegetables or do I want to go get a McDonald's burger? Well, I can't have McDonald's burgers, so like I'm gonna eat vegetables. Like, by the way, cucumber, you cut it in half, fucking garlic powder on that bitch because that's my business. It's fire. It's like a greatest snack. I feel like why am I out of focus? The fucking thing's on my face and then I'm out of focus for some reason. Anyway, my point is, and I think that's kind of like where I'm at is, it is okay. I don't know, I'm like getting choked up. It is okay to be fat and to be happy. You can be happy. You should be happy. You should strive to be happy in your life. But you should never be happy to be fat. And I think that's where the messaging is getting confused. I think there are people that are just out there, young people especially, that are overweight, that are not making the greatest maybe food decisions, or even if they have a medical situation, they're trying to force this, I'm happy to be fat, I'm proud of my rolls and shit like that. Don't be. Just don't be. That's not, like, it's gonna get harder as you get older. I'm 37 years old. Taking a shower is unnecessarily lengthy and fucking it just takes a long fucking time. Because you got to hit all the rolls, right? Got to make sure you're clean. So don't be fucking proud of your rolls. Just be proud of yourself. Yeah, that's all I got. That's going to be it for this one. I don't even know. If I've made a point, as always, I don't know, maybe that's my new sign off. If I've made a point here, make sure you drop a comment if you're watching the podcast. If you are listening, hit us up on Twitter. At T3G Media, or Instagram, also T3G Media, or Facebook, also T3G Media. So yeah, if you think I've made a point, drop that in the comments, hit us up in the DMs, whatever. If you got a counterpoint, we can have you on. Zoom is a thing. Well, we use Discord. I'm not gonna allow Zoom to own a category that should have been owned by Skype. Okay? That's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you in the next one.